Good day, everyone. I am Gwendolyn G. Coelho, your teacher in General Biology 1. I would like to welcome you all on your first day in the senior high school. I hope we can learn from each other as we go along with our subject. Module 1 is entitled The Cell Theory. Our objective in today's video is to explain the postulates of the cell theory. The oldest explanation about the origin of life is known as the theory of the spontaneous generation, that life arose from inanimate matter, according to one of the famous Greek philosophers, Aristotle, but he failed to present enough evidence to prove his claim. In the year 17th century, a scientist known as Jan Baptista van Helmont observed that mice arouse from rags and meat kernels left in an open container for 3 weeks. Another scientist by the name Francesco Redi in the year 1626 to 1697 disproved the ideas of Aristotle and Helmont. In his own experiment, he observed that maggots can appear in meat left in an open air. He predicted that preventing flies from having direct contact with meat can also prevent the appearance of maggots. John Needham in the year 1713 to 1781 performed also another experiment to discover the origin of life. He boiled broth infused with plant and animal matter and put it in a sealed glass. After a week, he observed that the broth became cloudy with numerous microbes. According to him, microbes have arisen spontaneously. Lazzaro Spallanzani in the year 1729 to 1799 performed similar experiment as Needham. He heated broth with plant and animal matter and put it in sealed glass. After a week, the flask remained clear without any signs of spontaneous growth. He also observed that in the partially opened glass, microbes developed. The debate on spontaneous generation ended when Louis Pasteur studied microbial fermentation process to prevent wine spoilage. He suggested that exposure to the broth to the air was not introducing a life force to the broth, but rather to airborne microorganisms. That when a broth is boiled properly and put in a sealed container, there will be no growth of microorganisms. Because of presenting detailed proof on his claim, he received a Humbert Prize from Paris Academy of Sciences in 1862. He presented his findings in a lecture, Omne vivum ex vivo, meaning life only comes from life. Let us now discuss the discovery of the cells as the basic unit of life. There were many scientists who helped us understand what cell is, and one of them was Robert Hooke. Using a simple microscope, he discovered the cell in a thin slice of board. He was able to view tiny compartments, like what you can see in the picture. Anton van Leeuwenhoek made his own microscope, and he used it to view pond water. He was able to see red blood cells, sperm cells, and bacterial cells. The picture on the slides show how these things appeared in his microscope. Robert Brown became interested in studying plant cells. While doing so, he observed a dark portion within the plant cell, and this was named nucleus. He theorized that nucleus is a basic part of the cell. Another scientist who became interested with cells was Felix Dujardin. He was able to discover the internal substance within the cell and named it as sarcode. On the picture, we can see the portion with blue color found just after the cell membrane and before the nucleus. John Evangelista Purkinje made a thorough investigation about this internal substance and gave the name protoplasm, now currently known as cytoplasm. This portion is filled with substance labeled as cytosol on the picture. Because of the discovery of those scientists, the understanding about cell becomes clearer. Many more scientists became interested, like Mathias Leiden and Theodore Savant. Investigating different samples of plant and animal cells, they found out that cell is the basic unit of living tissue. The cell is an autonomous unit grouped together to form an organism, like a citizen forming a society. Another scientist in the name of Rudolf Virchow theorized that all cells come from pre-existing cells. Omnis cellula is cellula. You can see from the diagram that new cells arise from a single cell by the process of cell division. This is called binary fission in bacterial cells. Putting together these concepts became the basis of the cell theory. The fundamental components are 1. All living things are composed of one or more cells and cell products. 2. All living cells come from other living cells by the process of cell division. And 3. Cells are the basic unit of the structure and function of organisms. To check your understanding about our lesson, try to answer the following questions. 1. What are living things made of? 2. What can cells do? 3. Where do cells come from? You can send me your answers to my Gmail account at melodincorreo@gmail.com. That's all for today, and please watch out for our next video lesson. Thank you very much. This is Teacher Glenolyn signing off.